everybody, it's Ross from the Hobbyist Den, and today I'm going to show you how to build some crop fields. Now these you don't have to paint, you just put them together, and half the supplies you need are from outside, which I'll get to shortly, and the dollar store, including getting like a little squeezable glue gun. But yeah, beyond that, be warned, this will be quite a bit of my bantering and whatever else, and it's 20 minutes long. So bear with the whole thing. I could make it shorter, but I want to have fun doing this. So here we go. So first things first on the list, twigs. You can find them outside, and they're plenty in the fall, especially off a dead fall. And that's where I'm going to get some. So here's a nice branch. I don't want to keep it the same size. I'll use these to make our gate, and any little fencing rail bits. Nice and dry, snaps off nice. Ugh. Next on our list is gravel, and no better spot than the highway. Now if you can't find a highway, I guess there's the dollar store, but highway's easy to find. So let's start by grabbing a few nice ones and just pick away. Right, now that we've got our twigs and our gravel, the next step is to wash the gravel. Because when you pick it off the ground off the highway, you kind of want to wash it just in case there's like little worm sac eggs or something you don't see. So basically, take your gravel, put it in your mom's favorite strainer. Well, I say favorite because it really makes her go crazy and mad, and I find that funny. But for you, it may not be. So grab her least favorite run then. And once I get this all filled up, we'll wash it. While our gravel's drying, we're on the next step, and that is making the base. I have hardboard here. It's pretty cheap, especially if you buy it at an 8x4 sheet and cut it down yourself. And for the field bits, we got this dollar store fake grass, bushes, and stuff which we'll be using. Now this next part for the base is you want to figure out, and it can be tricky, how exactly do you want to make it? In my case, because I'm using these for a fantasy setting as well, I'm going to be using one of the old movement trays you could buy from Beam's Workshop that were pre-made. And, excuse me, I want to figure out is, how wide is my widest gravel? I don't know. I don't have it with me. It's drying. So leave yourself a bit of space. Let's say about a thumb knuckles length. Maybe a little less. Actually, yeah. Some knuckle length there. And there. Now for this, I'm just going to trace my line, like so. And then I'm going to flip it and go like so. Oops. There. So there's my rough plot on where this will sit in. I'm going to keep this handy because when I go to do the gravel, I'll make sure it still fits in with the gravel. Now, also going to draw rough line, that's not wide enough. There, just so I know where I'm going to cut on the bandsaw. And then once that's cut, I'll trace it over the next piece, and then we'll have our base set up. Now let's get this down some more. There we go. So now I have my 2 bases made. Now this one wasn't too hard to do because it's just a complete duplicate of this one, which anybody can do on a small little bandsaw. Or if you don't have a bandsaw, I guess you'll have to do it by hand, with a handsaw. But, any rate, yes. Next thing to do is to duplicate the square pattern onto this one. And to do that, instead of using the base again, we're just going to use measure. Measure, measure, measure. I think it's about an inch. So, yeah. Let's go a little less than 1 inch. There. High point. Here. This side. About there. And over here. And then we just draw our imaginary little line. Steady as you can. Like so. Come on, felt tip, don't fail me now. There we go. Now I'm going to do these 2 up differently. And to do that, I brought my Next Let's Paint project along. Sneak preview! So basically, on this little plot of field here, I'm going to make it wide enough on both ends to fit a chariot through. It's just like making house plans, so just kind of mark off where your gates are going to be. Now, you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it, but it makes it easier to kind of make the fence the length I need, or the gate rather, and make this one straight follow through. Then I'll mark. Oh, come on, pen. Mark gate. And there, on my tongue. Well, we'll get the idea. And on this one here, just make a little man gate. Let's make it. That should be big enough to fit an orc base through. Just as an example. And there we go. Now the next part is going to be an interesting bit. And that is cutting the supply from the dollar store to size. Now, I decided for the first field, I'm doing what's going to look like some cut hay. Green cut horse hay. And this is just found at a dollar store. And the other field, I'm going to pull bits and pieces off of this one and make a soya bean patch. But I don't want to make it just straight fill it out. What I might do with this one is, because I do plan to put bases inside, is I'll make so there's like a row, on a row, but make a secondary base that fits inside this so you can pull it out. Yeah, I'm going to do that. But for starters, what I want to do is take my grass field one. Yeah, we'll use the one with the bigger gates. Excuse me. Gonna roughly line up the lines. Yeah, I get it more on camera here. Yeah. So that stays put, that screw's wearing out. So line it up here, line it up here, and then just cut. Now this patch of fake grass is it's a glued base, so I can peel it off and glue it right in. But I don't want to Do I want to do that right away? We'll see when I get it cut out. And there we have my square patch for the field. And as I eyed it up, it's a little bit bigger. I'll fine-tune that in a bit. But that's okay. Even if I overlap the lines a little bit, it's going to be covered up by the gravel. And I'm going to put some, what do you call it? A little thing, a hardware store, speckle, putty, whatever you call it. It was like $3 for a small tub, and it's cheap, efficient, and I can't find it here to show. At any rate, we'll move on to the next step and start the one for this one. Now for this one, because I am removing it, like a tray. I'll be right back. Okay, I now made the insert for this field. And I botched the line a little bit, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. So the next thing I want to do is for something like this, and you can do it however you want. But I'm going to make 3 rows, and with this dollar store stuff, you can just, it's just placed in there, so you can just pull it out. I'm not sure how the dollar stores are in the US or the rest of the world, but I'm pretty sure they got stuff like this. And, at any rate, give yourself a rough idea how you're gonna mark it out. Oh man, I put that in my pants with the lid off. That's not good. So, for me, I'm gonna make 3 rows. Don't know if you can see with my thumb in the way. I'll do it up here. Kinda make a rough line. Now, one thing I should mention though, if you don't have hardboard, which I recommend you get because this is durable stuff, another option you can use is foam board, which you can pick up at any local Walmart or dollar store, in about the same thickness. The problem with foam board is it's really light, and with putting gravel on it, it can snap it and break it in half with the weight. At least with hardboard, you're avoiding that. Yeah, so where was I? Row number 2. Right. That's a little wide. Right about there. And we'll put row number 3 in the middle. So we got row, and row. Now, we'll move on to the next step, and it's going to be tricky. And the next step is going to be prepping the gravel once it's dry for hot gluing. And by the power of magic videos, it'll be done by the time I film the next segment. Right, now it's time to move on to the next part. I've already gone ahead and put the grass on. What I want to do now is get a row of gravel started. But keep in mind, keep the tray handy, just so you know where you're going to put the rocks so it stays in shape. For this I'm using hot glue. You can use whatever glue you want, but I find with hot glue I can at least make it look like and paint the hot glue over later, so it looks like, what do you call it? Like concrete or mortar mix. So there's the first row done. And we can still fit our movement tray comfortably while having a row at the back for extras or whatever. Bear in mind where your gate marks are. I got a mark here, here, and here. This one overlapped a little bit, but that's okay. I'll leave that stone where it is instead of breaking it off. Now it's just to keep on going until we get all the layers done. And there we are.
Now, the one thing I forgot to almost do was bring a guy for reference, because this is going to be for fantasy and whatever, but fantasy has normal-sized humans. Well, I don't say that's normal size, but close enough, right? And just to check for height. Well, I say it looks pretty good. We're not going to go any higher than that. I'll even leave little gaps in there too. Now we're moving on to the next part, and that is making the fences. Now making the fences is pretty simple. We're going to take our twigs. Here's just one of them. But I'm not going to use the hot glue gun. I would, but I don't have a proper mat, so I'm going to go a little more refined. More refined and use my super glue. So basically, take our new piece of terrain here and measure out the width of the gate. And just eye it out. I got a rock block on that one. So we'll go about there. So what you want to do is basically cut your lengths. And, excuse me, I'll clear my throat. And figure out how tall you're going to go. You want to, for this, I'm going to go as tall as the, rock height. Right. Now, start building a fence. Or the gate, I should say gate. I'm not going to go super fancy. You want to make sure everything fits. Of course, I'm using wax paper, as you can see, to keep the mess off the woodwork of my table. But what you're trying to do here is dry fit everything first, make sure you got the length. I'm gonna go with that pattern. And there we are. Our first gate. Now we got our two gnarly gates. Ooh, I think I made this one a little too tall. Yeah, I did. That's okay, we can cut it the size. Shorten it. That one's okay. Nice tall gate. Yeah, this one I'll trim the size. And I added a tree, just for the hell of it. Now we're not going to glue these gates in just yet, because now we're going to do up the dirt path here and here, the entranceways. Now for this bit, I'm using a bit of drywall compound. And we're going to make our little muddy entranceways. Or not, since it's... Let's add some water. Sorry folks, we'll have to go with plan B and do glue and sand. Man, I was looking forward to using the drywall mud. So essentially, just take your glue, generously apply it. Then add some hobby sand. Do the same on the other side. Just really get it in there. You know what, since I'm at it, might as well do this side too. And around there. Then what you want to do is add another layer of glue. Again, generously apply it. I'm doing it up so you kind of see like tracks or something. Won't pop out now, but it'll pop out later when I paint it. Yeah. I'll fix that. So, plastic piece. Kind of see indents for treads. Not the greatest, but it'll work. And there we go. The pathways beaten in there is now complete. Now, sadly, the next one I was going to use a lot of that drywall mud for, but we'll have to go with glue and sand. Yeah. We'll let that sit aside to dry for now. I'll go around later and finish up here. As for the gates, I'm going to make them removable so they can just kind of stand in place for now. Now for this one, same idea, go around, make sure this fits inside, and give it lots of room. Maybe I'll use this instead, it's a little bit wider. And here's number 2. Now while that dries, I also left a little spot back here as a walkway in. But yeah, while that dries, make sure our... Good. Still fits. But yeah, at the same time, another reason I left this corner open is so you can easily just lift and pull this out. Okay. How am I gonna do this? Well, I guess we'll put this away for now. I think for this, I'm just gonna do all in sand. Don't need a hot glue gun right now. wax paper. Out of the way. Wax paper. This. I'll build up some rows. Essentially what I want to do is have bigger and bigger rows and leave this like a second little, like a small layer. So it looks like it's been cultivated dirt. It's very time consuming to do that too, with building up sand. So we'll just yeah, I'll just we'll just do this and come back to it. Now while that's all drying, I'm going to yeah, there we go. I'm gonna start putting these in there too. Those will be hot glued on. So, how many do I need? There's that. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's get these propped in and started. So there we are. It's all planted in. First layer of sand done. And in the next few minutes I'll have that dry and I'll start the next layer. So I tried building up the sand around the plant and it's just not working. So we're just going to leave it as it is. I filled in as best I could around the root bits. And now I'm going to do the same thing to this. Just going to fill it full of sand. And no fence on this one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But once it's done, as when you do around the sides and everything, there's pretty much no painting to do. It's just done. It's ready to go. I may go and touch up on the blue bits, but eh. And there you have it. 2 pieces of terrain. Doesn't need any painting. Costs next to nothing to make. Well, let's say a $20 budget. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.